Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to it. Pitchside Podcast. And as usual, the lineup is amazing. Sugar.
Red Bull.
Thank you. Donna.
How are you, sir?
Are you well?
I'm well, thanks. And you?
Great. No complaints. Life is good.
Oza Malu.
Not well.
I must visit one of your gigs and just take the mic on your behalf.
Oza
Malu. Ke motho wa dilotse ke botlo o sebetsa ka matsogo o batlo kena mo pela Oza Malu Oza na bangani bakho sebafikile abangani ba lapha ya Shotu malume Modise.
Yes, sir.
Ka bona o tswetsa di pedicure le di manicure. I withdraw chair. No muna no sikile. Ura ke krasa.
Gentlemen, coming back from Champions League match versus TP Mazembe in Atromitos. It was beautiful to see Atromitos, first of all, yellow.
What interests me most about that game is memories that come from that pitch, especially because of Champions League.
Yes.
A lot of games were won there. History was made in the very pitch, and we could see that it's more emotional, especially for the supporters. There are only few players that are still there. I was happy to see Mshishi going on the whole 90.
Amazing.
In that field. So I believe these memories, or the memories of that field, really play a big role in
it. Yeah. A game of, the goal margin was very low. It was a 1-0 win. But we had up to, at some stage, was 73% ball possession.
Yeah.
Which means the opposition was chasing shadows.
Yeah, and I think also like to believe that TP Mazembe is no longer the TP Mazembe that was feared at some point. And Mamelodi Sundowns obviously evolves, got better and better. And I think just having TP Mazembe in our pocket, I think it tells you how far Mamelodi Sundowns come from.
Can I tell you what's funny?
Yeah.
The TP Mazembe coach in an interview said you're through to the next group. Are you worried about who do you want to face? He said anybody but Sundowns.
But yeah, because nobody wants to beat Sundowns. because then you trying to figure out as to then how then you win against Mamelodi Sundowns, because we are a very ball oriented team, but also we're a team as well that whatever you're defending on a low block, you're gonna chase shadows, and once Sundowns scores, it then means that you need to open up, and then you open up for more goals.
Yeah.
So that's why it was like a 1-0, because also even though you have possession, they just scared to open up.
Yeah.
And that's what Sundowns is in the continent, that nobody wants to face them. And I just hope that with the momentum that we have, season in, season out, at some point, Champions League needs to give.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
we have the players that
Coach
are capable.
Coach Rulani spoke about it. He said it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it is.
It's interesting because when you look at the game like against Mazembe, you would see that Mazembe tried so hard to make it difficult for us to play, but the maturity in the team was so is something to never overlook, because they found solutions when it was difficult. In the first few minutes, Mamelodi Sundowns wants to dominate, but Mazembe was coming hard, pressing very well, going all out, but the boys kept their calm, kept pushing the ball around until the steam ran out of TP Mazembe, and you could see the confidence and the way the goal came.
Yes.
You could see them knocking. You could see the forward passes that they make. It's eliminating so many people in the midfield, going straight to the strikers. That really pushed them backwards and forced them to also get that penalty. So the workload and the work rate of the boys is really something you really need to consider.
Speaking about the press, we find like in a situation where like all the teams want to press Mamelodi Sundowns, and the biggest problem is the higher you press, the more you open at the back.
That's short winter blanket.
It's like a short winter blanket. It's a peacock.
Yeah.
You open, it looks beautiful when you press there, but you're exposed at the back.
Yeah. And also, is it possible though for a team to play that high press a full game?
It's not. And I strongly believe because then it demands a lot of energy, and I also believe that if you want to press, you need to have moments and and areas where you want to press, like a line of confrontation. So you just can press and for the sake of pressing. Because I've realized as well, a lot of teams when they play Mamelodi Sundowns, there's a lot of individual pressing, right? You find a striker that wants to press because he was told to press, but nobody at the back actually followed them to press. So therefore, once you start pressing individually, you'll never win, and you're wasting energy, and you're going to get frustrated. I think most of the time is when teams trying to press, is they want to press from the first minute, and come 25, 30th minute, they tired already.
The energy dips.
Yeah. And what I like about the Mamelodi Sundowns team right now is they don't have to win the game in the first 20 minutes. We were obsessed in scoring in the first 20 minutes. Yeah. So Sundowns can win the game in the 80th minute because they're so patient on the ball. They're not rushing things. So it doesn't matter whether you start pressing from the first minute. It's then Sundowns are going to wait for you to get tired, and once you get tired, you get punished.
I was speaking to a gentleman day before, and he was just speaking around the fact, during Coach Pitso's tenure, you knew that if we were 1-0 down, it could end that way. But we now found ourselves in an era whereby even if we go 1-0 down, which hardly happens, you know that the boys will come back and grab the game by...
All right, I think Sugar can attest to this. Back then, we didn't have too many ball players. We didn't have... we didn't have the Mshishi, many of them Mshishis, the Alendes, Bom Kulisis, like there's Bomkwena. So now there's a lot of ball players in the midfield. Then we had maybe two, and most of the time possibly maybe they're not playing at the same time. So we had a very different strategy, and also there was a transition, because from the transition here, Sundowns not winning anything to get to the winning mentality. So we were results driven, not necessarily in terms of how we play. And if you look also when we first won the league, we were 10 games behind. We needed to catch up. And if you look at those games, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. We knew how to defend.
Close the shop.
That's how also,
You remember we had only 2 subs on the bench.
Yeah. At some point we didn't have the subs. So when you're playing, you must play the 90 minutes. So but also what helped us as well is within that space when we were chasing, we started enjoying defending. We were never scared to defend. We knew that if we defend very well, nobody can score us. We had that belief. But now you have the Mamelodi Sundowns now that defends with the ball, because the game has evolved. They defend with the ball, they hide the ball, and that's why it's so nice in the eye. Of course, I'm sure, Lena, if I was younger, I would still want to play on this Mamelodi Sundowns team, because then I liked having the ball.
Switch, man. Why took
light also against the TP Mazembe game, I was looking at the stats, and at some point they had 0 shots on target.
That's not news, though.
I think
it's not news,
guys. It's what in a Champions League game.
It's not.
It's what you say that they hide the ball. You can't have that shot at goal if you don't have the ball.
You need to have the ball first.
And the way the team plays so compact is immediately when they lose the ball, within 5 seconds they've got the ball back, and then they continue to stroke it around. They push it
5
around.
5 seconds is too long. I think the rule that they have is 3. From loss of ball to recovery, 3 seconds.
My friend.
And at 5,
and they do it easy. You lose it, you get it back.
And also what helps as well is from a tactical point of view is once the distances between each other are shorter, it's easy to counter press to win the ball back. And I think that's one thing as well that other teams are struggling with. Once you look at how other teams are playing, once they win the ball, they open the pitch. So then when you lose the ball, you're naked because there's so many gaps to be actual to punish. But you look at Mamelodi Sundowns, once they have the ball, they close the pitch because they want to get closer and closer and closer to draw you here so that they can free somebody either on the side or whatever the case might be. I think it's just a philosophy as to know which coach wants to play how. But also, you look at Mamelodi Sundowns domestic. The last time they lost a league game is 2 years ago. You understand? So having a team.
It's a 40 games.
Yeah.
But I swear there are 2 years.
Yeah, if ngibele ngwana ngiba tsama crash.
No, crash, no,
You see?
jolly lollipop.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Not having shots on target, not being able to defend well. That's why Sundowns, it is where it is. It's a very difficult team to lose because then they know how to defend and also they know how to score. So it's Lynn as a coach, maybe from another team, I wouldn't want to play Sundowns. I honestly wouldn't want to play Sundowns.
You've heard, international coaches are saying anybody but those ones.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know. Yes, you don't know. Because lady substance thing when they come, you see superstars. Sitting on the bench, and when they come on, they do the business. They carry on with the work that has been done. Or not only that, after the game, you see more superstars going to train after the game, and it seems like everybody is motivated. I saw one of the comments on social media, one of the supporters saying it's so difficult to choose a man of the match now at Mamelodi Sundowns because all the boys are giving 100%. You look at Ronwen Williams; he gives you 100% pass rate. He's in the post, but the passes he makes. You look at Zuko. On right back, he comes in and fits in like a glove.
Yeah.
And you see how the boys are. Everybody believes in each other.
Yeah.
Whether it's Alende in the field or it's Ipombule or it's Batusi Obas or Tebo Homukwen, you still get the same momentum. Lebo Mabue has been
amazing.
Unbelievable.
It's also been then amazing to see a guy like Zuko, how well he's adapted in the short period that he's been at the team.
And credit to the coaches. And also, luckily for him, we had that gap in Jan to be able to fit in, to work with the team. Of course, it's unfortunate that the core of the team at that time was not here, was in AFCON. But the philosophy still remains the same. So he's lucky to be able to adjust so quickly because there was time in it.
Yes.
So all now we're waiting for is for him to take it to the next level.
I saw him breaking the lines. I saw him push all the way
even
up to
driving
the top
from getting inside and
right
playing.
Back
You have to have
turned
confidence.
Guy.
You have to. You know. There's this stigma that Mamelodi Sundowns are destroying players' careers, right? The problem is, like, when you get to Sundowns, is you can't play the way that you're playing from a previous team because you've got the Galacticos here, where you need to up your game a little bit.
Superstars.
And within upping up your game, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have to play with confidence. You should play with confidence.
Yes.
I mean, you have a team that 80 to 90% of the time they have the ball.
Yes.
You know?
I even heard Lyle Kay do an interview recently. He said at Sundowns you're not allowed, you can't, not even that you're not allowed, as an individual, you can't have a bad day at practice because the two guys who are behind you
are
waiting, and that one bad day moves you back to number 3 because now these two are ahead of you. It's that intense.
That's true. I remember one time we were asked when I first in the first year when I got here, coach asked, look to your left and to your right and check if you don't play, do you think Mamelodi Sundowns will lose? Without you, do you think? When I looked to my left, I saw this guy. I saw Teko Modise. On the right, Anthony Lafont. Across, Elias Pelembe. On the other side, Surprise Muril. And you begin to see on the other side, Klompo Kekana. Whether you play or not,
we'll still win.
The team wins.
Yes.
And they win 5. They win 6.
Yeah.
Without you. So it becomes very crucial, like you say, that you can't have a bad day at training because that bad day may be someone's best day. And the opportunity is given, like what we see with the likes of Lebo Mabunda coming back from injury and being given a chance, so many assists, participating, defending. The confidence is back, and having players like that. Look at Bongani Zungu. The games that he's had, a few previous games that he had, exceptional. And you ask yourself, is he is a natural centre back? Because the game, like Teko says, there is a transition of the style of play. So no time to relax, my guy.
Do you think you could have played as a centre back?
Centre back,
Hybrid role.
Yeah, you would have.
From there to there.
Yeah, you would have.
I would have. I was actually playing centre back.
You would have.
Yeah, I was playing it the other way around.
Yeah.
From midfield to the
To the back,
And not
so,
okay.
Yeah. So if
You
you
know
are
hybrid before we knew hybrid.
Before the terminology.
Before terminology.
Negetsana class before.
Yeah.
There's one time I always remind him at we were playing in Algeria, and the day before I asked him, I've got this challenge, because I had that open relationship to say when I've got a challenge, I would ask, and he was never in a position to say no. We're playing the same position and we're not, but he was like truly a big brother to say no. I've got this challenge, and he advised, touch the ball forward. The next day I did it in the game, and I scored the goal. Everyone is saying, "Oh, wonderful goal!" And I said, "Ah, no, the guy is, the guy is, yeah."
It's part of the highlight reel. Yeah, it's about throwback this the spirit. Yako, welcome. I'm live like koala chiga.
Yeah, you is on Robel tattoo yare now.
Can't say again.
Kiana is on Robel tattoo yare. Tamle rogo ule mormono gore.
Gentlemen, we move back now to the Premier Soccer League.
Bread and butter.
Yeah, it's a very tricky game because there's been more battles off the field that have come up.
That's the only way you can contest against Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be though.
It shouldn't be like that. We play in the field like
it shouldn't
Modise says. Be in the field and play. Don't talk. No talk.
Yeah.
Play. I mean, right.
You know, because also like what happened in the first round, the Benapaka issue and the Bongani Zungu, it's always going to linger around. And now we're dealing with two professionals that possibly they had the conversation, apologies, and we keep it moving. I know Benapaka is a very, very strong character player, and is a true professional too. You know, and it's unfortunate what happened to him. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but yet again, at the end of the day, this is another fixture that we need to actually face, get into the pitch and try to compete. And now while trying to compete, you also want, whether you're the coach, whether you're the fan, whether you're the owner of the team, you want the whole focus to be on the players and the players to be able to focus 100%. And then now with all the things that are happening on the side, I'm sure they're distracting the players at some point. And then now when you want to play Mamelodi Sundowns, you want to play, as a player, you want to be clear-headed.
Yes.
You want to be able to compete. And I just hope that that's the case, because you can't you can't just build a rivalry from nothing. There needs to be something, you know. And it's unfortunate that Mamelodi Sundowns is one of those teams that you're trying to find ways how to beat them, because now you're unable to do that on the pitch. You find other solutions that are not football related, football methods,
which makes it difficult.
You know, it makes it very, very difficult, and now you're taking the soul out of the game. We, as much as you want to compete, you end
up raising the emotions of the players unnecessarily, which will then cause the knock-on effect of it is bigger. Because I don't believe there is a football player that wakes up in the morning and says, "Today's game, I want to break X's."
No,
or you want to lose the match.
No. That's why I feel sad when I see teams that comes in and defend the whole day, and then when they lose, you look at because for me, body language is everything. So I look at their body language. You can see how disappointed they are because of the instructions that were given. No player wants to go into the field as about to compete. You understand? So if you're giving your players an opportunity to compete, okay, it's fine. But the thing is, like, other coaches, they're taking the Jose Mourinho too far. The Jose Mourinho will take attention because hoping that his players, they will be more relaxed on the game. But you look at the players that he was taking pressure from. You've got Alonso, you've got Ronaldo, Ozil, you've got quality. You understand what I'm saying? So it becomes chalk and cheese. But I just hope that, man, this is the fixture that will actually settle everything out, and Mamelodi Sundowns can keep moving. The
last game we played was the Carling Cup, where we lost on penalties. Is this then, do you think it could be viewed as a revenge game, to say, okay, the last time you guys had talks about our issues and us not having our players and so forth, now it's full squads, Mazlime Zechen?
I don't think it's a revenge game, because priorities might differ. Mamelodi Sundowns, they play every 2 games, so the confidence is very high. Unlike our counterparts, that they may have more time.
More time to plan, more time to plan, and recovery and so forth.
And the difficult part of that is you're playing a team that is, the momentum is high, the confidence is high, the belief is high, they trust each other. Whether you put this player in or whether you take that player out, I saw the way the team was so united in giving Peter a penalty, so that because it shows, it's a message for me. It's a message from the player to say, hey, my guy, we need you.
Yes.
As much as you may have not scored in a long time,
Yeah.
you could have easily given the normal penalty takers, your Ribeiro.
Yeah.
But Ribeiro then goes and says, my guy,
Take
it shows teamwork.
Yeah, it's more about
we
the
call
team,
it
it's for the team.
brotherhood.
Yeah.
That it's not only him facing his challenge of not scoring alone, but the whole team feels. I see sometimes when he's not scored, they do his celebration. That gives you that confidence to say, I'm not alone. And him scoring is a plus, my guy. You've got a hat-trick from Serino, a hat-trick from Ribeiro.
I'm a trick.
Yeah.
But also not to play TS Galaxy down.
Yes.
They are a very different team than they were last season.
Yep.
Even in the first round, they're very good now.
Yeah.
Like they're very, very. I've watched TS Galaxy. Very interesting team. Very, very good in the eye. They play proper football. And I just hope with what I've seen as well, it will be the case come the fixture. They'll play the way they normally play. They show the bravery that they normally show, and it's like I'm saying, like it's a TS Galaxy that has changed, that has evolved, and just hope that on the day, it'll all end, within the 4 lines.
We're facing a TS Galaxy side that's just come back from a loss.
Yeah,
Also, the game they were playing was against Cape Town Spurs, who have
Playing for their
been
lives.
Playing for their lives.
Yep.
But they I mean, once it's they're at the bottom, we're at the top, and we're also looking at being the Invincibles.
6 points. It's in 2024. I'm not sure if they're the top of the
Yes. They've won the most games and scored the most goals
in 2024. So that tells you that they're also a different team. Like Teko was saying about TS Galaxy, that they are a totally different team. But we are coming into a game with a team that has just lost a match, and they're trying to redeem themselves. At the same time, we are coming from a match that we just had, like you were mentioning, the ball possession, a dominant performance. So we shouldn't allow any form of complacency to creep in there, and emotions as well, with regards to what we've been discussing in terms of the field that matters. That should not play a part. Rather, like Teko says, let the game finish within the 4 lines.
According to my calculations, 6 games to be played, and the Premiership is
that's what you want.
converted.
That's what you want.
Finish this
I mean, for the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns is committed to so many competitions.
Yes.
You want to wrap it up as quickly as possible, and
Yeah.
also what helps as well is the chasing pack. They haven't won this season, this year, so they're busy dropping points. So that gives Mamelodi Sundowns an opportunity to stretch that gap, and I'm sure within two fixtures more, we'll start taking out calculators and see which.
No,
game
my
it
brother,
actually-
I've done the maths.
You see,
If
so
they-
that's the
if they
thing.
don't win
If we
this
win
game,
6 games in a row,
it is done.
we've closed.
Exactly.
So,
So
if they don't win, it may
It
be
may-
5
it
games.
may be 5
or
games.
4
yeah,
games.
yeah. So you also, like, from a coaching point of view, you want it to end a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
and then so that you not necessarily shift the focus, but then maybe divide the groups and have and be able to manage the games. Like, that you've got your Mshishi, you've got your Mokoena, that now your biggest focus now, Champions League.
Big one.
The big
Nedbank
ones, and then the ones that are still trying to acclimatize to the team, the confidence that needs to be back, and then you can actually now have them to play locally, and also you still have Nedbank Cup, so you want to go all the way for everything, but the earlier you wrap it up, the better.
The last time we had a conversation, you said after game 15 we can start talking about the Invincibles.
Fit wena o lebala kgante.
Hey, motho man. And he said it, but I remember Teko's comment was that was that Sundowns has shown, Mamelodi Sundowns has shown the competitiveness in the first round of the league.
Yes.
The preseason, immediately from preseason they hit the ground running.
Yes.
And this break that we had would serve as a mini preseason as well to restart everything else. And by the looks of things, I don't see us losing.
We've got no business losing, guys.
We have true.
I don't think we have got no business. Naves.
Yeah.
Mamelodi Sundowns is standing a chance of making history every game they play in the league. You've got 2 years without losing a game. You've got Coach Rulani Mokoena that has never lost a league game since he's become the head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns. So you can't go to TS Galaxy with the mentality that this might be the day. No.
Losing is not an option.
No, it's not.
It's not in our
and also,
vocabulary.
what's also so important as well is having that clean sheet. Yo, guys, that clean sheet, it's so important, because then you're always in the driver's seat.
100%.
Chasing the game.
Yeah.
You can do whatever that you want. You can make those substitutions that you want.
Looking back on the games and saying, back in the day, you guys would always want to score in that first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Not only did that settle the nerves of somebody watching, a fan like myself, because I knew that once we get the first one, we're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
It's up to us to get 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Whereas,
4 and 5 and 6.
You know what I mean? They still have to get 1.
Yeah, of course. And I think
Yeah,
Rona,
they make
Rona,
cables.
Rona, if there's one game that made us nervous, really, 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 for the first time I saw Mamelodi, I looked around in that dressing room. Everyone was nervous, even the coach himself. Coach Peter's a little bit chubby. That's why that day we played Super Sport, the game that we won the league.
Yes.
The first half we didn't score. There was 0-0.
When you scored from the center.
Yeah, that game. I scored the number 1 goalkeeper in the country. But everyone was nervous at halftime.
Yeah.
So even the coach didn't say much because he didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I remember going back when we went back. Luckily, when the advantage of having senior players on the team, we started, because for me personally, it was playing in my mind. I'm like, here we go again. This curse is not going to win, right? So I remember Shompar and Fit, second half, Shompar surprise. But I'm thinking, no, too much. Just play. Bruh, within 10 minutes, surprise scored. The game was done. Because then we know we score 1, it's done. We knew we didn't have to score 3.
Yes.
Once Surprise scored, we knew that it was done. But that was the culture within the team.
Yeah.
Now you have a different culture within these new players that says, we don't have to score you the first 10 minutes.
We'll score you.
But and when we actually do get those opportunities, we'll punish you. I mean, bruh, like I was doing the game against Amazulu. I haven't seen a pass like that was done by Obongani Zungu in a while in the PSL, where you can penetrate through, just go through straight. Ribeiro Aitlohela to go score. It's unheard of.
Yeah. But it's also amazing the other parts of that, right? The pass and the goal is top class. But the way Lorch pulled Rama out of the position, it is amazing. And how then as well, because they always accuse us of playing very narrow down the middle. Yeah. But the way we spread the field, because then you found Hanabu also tugging the touchline, and then it opened for that gap, And I guess that's the advantage of playing with players like Bonks from that hybrid role. Yeah, because he can.
Because you can see the whole pitch. Yes. Yeah. So you've got no business playing sideways.
No.
When you play in that position, you've got no business playing sideways because you see the whole pitch. The only reason why you're playing sideways is to draw opponents to one side for you to be able to use it on the other side. You need to. That's why there's a lot of conversation about ball position. It's you ball position for what? You need to have a reason why you pass. Even as a midfielder, I always say to Abu Shuga when still playing, I said to them, if you're passing sideways, you need to know why. Why? Sideways can't be your first option as a midfielder because you're working so hard to move around, to be free. Once you get the ball, you want to pass sideways. Why? So you need to have a reason why you're passing sideways. And I strongly believe that you're looking at the maturity of Bongs, you look at the maturity of Mukwena, and then Allende is an alien. You're looking at all those things. Like it's so much. It's so nice to see. So that becomes very difficult for teams to defend, because then if you're defending narrow, you still have the horses outside. They can take 1v1s. Yeah. And I remember having the same conversation with Coach Ulan, I think last season or the season before. I asked him, I said, it was during the season, I said, what are you planning on doing next season? I said, I want to have players that will be able to take players on, to play different system, to play 3 up front, because now I can't because I don't have wingers, I don't have wingers. And then he made those signings, Maseko and all that stuff, because that's how you want to play. And then now you still have, and thank, he's back now, he wants to play.
It's amazing, man. It's really amazing. We get to sit here and talk about all these players and know that whoever comes on off the bench as well, the intensity is only going to get better. Nobody wants a day off.
No.
After the game of the Champions League, when I was passing through the tunnel there, I saw the excitement in the players that went in the stand when they were going to train. The excitement, it's like they're going into a match, and you see your Cirino being positively ready for the training bongs. I'm mentioning people who could easily have, they just had 2 exceptional games, and then they're excited to go and train. that tells you a different kind of mentality that is within the team, that whether we play or not, any given point in time when you give us the chance, we're going to take it, even if it's training. Because I've seen, I watched 11v11 training. It looked like this is the most difficult game as compared to playing the Premier League. So it tells you the competitiveness within the club, and everybody is ready and trusts that if Naves goes in the midfield, I as a midfielder, I am the first supporter of him being in the field, and that's a very good sign that I saw.
Gentlemen, score predictions.
Mamelodi Sundowns 3.
Yeah.
TS Galaxy 0.
Okay.
I'll go for 2. The reason why I'm going for 2 because I think it's one of the teams as well that doesn't necessarily concede much. They defend very well. So a 2-0 scoreline, maybe because we scored early, it will force them to open up a little bit and maybe get the second one later on into the game. But even if it's a 1-0 scoreline, I think it's perfect because all we want to do is just keep going with the momentum.
Invincibles.
I'm telling you, want to.
I'm holding on to that one.
Yeah.
You want it?
I want it. That one.
Just
do the
it is possible. It is very
100%.
possible.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see where Coach Rulani ends this season in terms of points collected, because I think you could have done better last season, especially once the league was wrapped up. Those draws,
Yes,
I think he could. I think he's learned a lot from that, and you can see now how well balanced the team is. And coming back to what Sugar said, it's important as well for the players. They've recognized themselves as to how valuable they are, whether you're playing or not. Because as a player, for you to be excited, which means you know your importance into the team.
Yes.
And for the coaches and the team to make that environment so peaceful and exciting for all the players, that can only bring good results on the
100%.
pitch. Yeah.
And you can think that it's how difficult it must be to have so many exceptional players and all of them be glued to one course that really need to give it up to the technical team and the coaching staff.
100%. Masandawana, we are playing TS Galaxy in Bombela. If you are in Bombela or anywhere around there, please, let's go out there and support the team. Please, inside in yellow. Let's take over Bombela. We are the Pitchside Podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments. If you have any questions you want to ask, leave it in the comments. Masandawana.